Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today we'll talk about the power of your words, the power of God in your words. You know, many people are going through life and their words are being arbitrarily thrown out there in jokes, in jesting, in foolishness, in self-deprecation, and in many other areas that are undesirable for them. They may talk about the cares of this world, the things that are going on in the world that seem so important, when the vast majority of them are based on lies. And this is something that in recent years, people are becoming more aware of, the lies that the world propagates to them. And there is becoming a sort of awakening to that, to the truth, that you can't just believe everything you hear. Now, that's always been known. It's been a maxim people have said for years and centuries even. But it seems to be people are now seeing tangible, real life examples of why that is so true and so important to think and clarify and examine things that are going on before you consider them to be true or not. But it's also important the way you speak, because even if you have the truth, you could still speak in a way that gets you worse results. You could still speak in a way that does not glorify God. You could still speak in a way that brings about the detriment to your life. And yet you can turn around your life and have the life that you truly want by speaking forth those words of faith. Those words that are not doubting, they're not unbelief, but they're faith-filled words about the goodness and prosperity and blessing and abundance of God in your life. This is scoffed at by traditional religion, where they want you to believe that you need to submit to them under God instead of submitting to God Himself. But they also don't want you to have any power in this life, because every single bit of power you have in this life takes it away from the power you would have given to them by trusting in them, believing them, following them, doing what they say, following their traditions and beliefs that don't benefit you. Why would you continue to adhere to things that don't bring out the best in your life, that make you have a worse life, that make you have a worse mentality, that make you negative and depressive and sad about things and always fearful and unbelieving? That's not the gospel. Jesus told you to fear not. They're teaching you to fear. And they may with the same mouth say, oh, you're not supposed to be in fear, but then everything about what they talk about and lead you to believe is fear-based. Oh, you know, this is happening. Oh, this politician over here. Oh, this bad thing over here happening. Oh, these riots over here. And everything they talk and propagate and speak and give power to is fear-based. But in the end, you can't be controlled by what anyone else is saying or thinking or how they choose to believe or not believe. Your own words, those words spoken by faith, because death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. When you're speaking forth those words, you're decreeing a thing and seeing it be established unto you, except so many people are decreeing things they don't want. This is why I stress and I stress and I stress and I stress over and over. And I try to make my videos so simple so anyone can understand them. I don't go talking about Plotinus and all these various philosophers and various degrees of philosophy and all this stuff. I try to make it so simple that people can understand this basic truth. Stop speaking and thinking about the things you don't want. Start speaking and thinking about the things you do want. It really is that simple. And you want to summarize it even more and just have it as base level. It's have faith in God. Because if you have faith in God, you can't speak about the things you don't want. You can't speak about all these bad things. You can't speak negatively, because you know the one who gives you freely all things. You know the one to whom all things belong. You know the one who said all things in Him are yea and amen. You know the one that said, ask and ye shall receive. You know the one there's no limit within, and in whom you live and have your being. Don't let another day go by when you talk about having faith in God, but your words deny Him. Your words speak of your faith in the world. Your words speak of your faith in politicians. Your words speak of your faith in evil parties on this planet. Your words speak of your faith in principalities and powers and darkness and spiritual wickedness and all these things that you really have true faith in because you're wavering in unbelief about God's goodness. And that's really what it boils down to. If you're speaking negatively, if you're speaking and sad and depressed all the time, that's simply an indication of the doubt you have about the goodness of God. And I understand that many people, when they point to things and when they talk about things, they drive you down that path. But you have to make the choice. Am I going to believe what I know about God and His goodness? Or am I going to believe all these careless trivialities that people like to talk about as if they somehow are the reality? Am I going to choose to make my reality by speaking forth those things of faith, the things that I want, those things of the goodness of God? Or am I going to speak about the cares of the world, this sadness and depression and misery and failure and sickness and problems and this bad thing and that bad, all this stuff? Or am I going to rise up in faith and boldly speak forth those words of faith, those words that are true, those words that are just, those words that are of good report, that are lovely, that are pure, that are virtuous, that are good, that are praiseworthy, that are all those things, the attributes and true character of the love of God, the God who is love by very definition. My friend, you don't have to go another day having the life you don't want, experiencing the life you don't want. And this applies because so often people take these things and think I'm talking only about finances. But so many of these things apply to every area, from your health to your finances, of course, spiritually, every single aspect of your life, these are all affected by. And so if you'll speak forth those words of faith of the things you do want, the things that exhibit the goodness of God in your life, and you don't pay any more attention to those things you don't want, you stop speaking about them, you stop regurgitating tales from the past of negativity and things you don't want, and you just speak forth those good words of faith of the things you do want, you will have them. My friend, if you will not doubt, but believe, you will have whatsoever you say. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.